Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is the 15th of January 2020, and we've just been to see The Precess. Open the house. Hello, Vicky.
Hello, Jig. I like how quickly you read that front bit. Like, this is how we do it so quickly because you just speak really quickly.
Yeah, I'm a quick speaker.
Yeah.
How are you?
Not very well.
No, I know you're not.
No. So just to pre-apologise to the listeners if I'm not too perky.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be perky enough.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Hopefully this review will cheer you up a little bit.
Oh, I do hope so.
So shall I tell you a little bit about The Precess?
Sure.
Okay. So it was written by Sarah Beatty, or Beddy. Let's say Beddy. It was directed by Sarah Beddy. Designer is Mayu Tricatori. I think. Notable actors: Catherine Bailey, Ralph Boygerd, George Ege. Oh gosh.
This is great.
William Grint, Erin Siobhan Hutchings, and Jean Claire. It's at the Bunker Theatre until the 1st of February, so I'm afraid it's finished. We've been a bit lax, haven't we, about doing our reviews? We've been quite busy, I should say.
We have been very busy, unfortunately.
Anyway, and it runs for an hour and a half, and it had no interval. Vicky, could you give us a synopsis?
So let me go back in time with my memory, which is like a goldfish. So basically, it was set in I want to say dystopian future, where somebody invented an app for deciding how useful you were to society. So you got points for different things, and if you were a useful person, you were was it a plus? Was it positive? And if you were, and then if you weren't useful to society, you became
a negative,
a zero. And then when you became a null, less than that, I think.
Yeah.
Then you got put into detention centre.
A nulltion centre.
Yeah. So you had to. You basically, if you were homeless, or there were some other categories, you were immediately a null.
Yeah. And we obviously have to mention it was a deaf piece of theatre. Yeah.
So it had. So it had some deaf actors in it, and there was a lot of everything had sign language. Everything was signed, and
well, not everything.
Not everything, but like in pretty much every scene there was some sign language.
Yeah,
and they quite cleverly translated it. There wasn't just someone translating the sign language.
Yeah. So sometimes you just understand one half of the conversation.
Yeah, but they say if someone was having a conversation with someone who was signing, they would sort of be like, oh right, so what am I talking about? Oh, I'm talking about this. So you'd always get what it was all about.
Right, so let's get to the nuts of this.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. In fact, I went to see it again. I took my team from work because I work for a theatre company for people with learning disabilities.
Yeah.
And I took the staff team because I wanted them to see what it was like to create a piece of theatre for a group, a minority group, if you like, of people. And I thought the way they told the story and the issues they raised in a funny way, but also a serious way, was amazing. Yeah,
it was good. So the lady who invented the app was deaf.
Yes, she was brilliant.
Because she initially was like a really high positive, or plus or whatever it was. She had lots of privileges, like she could always have a translator.
Yeah.
But then some things happened, and she fell from grace basically, and they took away all her points. And then because she had no points, she wasn't allowed a translator anymore, and so she was trying to communicate with people who couldn't understand her, and it became more and more frustrating and difficult. And
it was a real tragic story for her, and she was wonderful to watch, I thought.
She was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And her son was also deaf, and he got put in a detention centre. They sort of basically got stitched up, didn't they?
Yeah. And she was the only person who just played one character throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everybody else, it was an ensemble piece, so everybody else played a range of characters.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was a very talented cast, really, but you know,
it was good. There were maybe a couple of people that weren't so strong.
Yeah, but you know, the story moved on at a pace. I thought the individual scenes were, you know, there was a bit with where she goes to see a middle class family who the guy's a lawyer, and she's doing dinner parties all the time, isn't she? And, and they just said some really very funny lines. You know, it's like you know, don't say I can hear you or things like that, because I can't remember the lines.
There was a lot of humour in it. There was another guy who played numerous characters, but also played the sort of vice president of this company that she ran that had developed this app. Because it was so ironic, because she developed this app. Yeah. And then she became a victim of it. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that worked for me, really. I thought that was a little bit too close. That she developed the app that was, you know, bringing the whole thing down. But
the VP of this company that she worked with, he was really funny as well. Yeah. But I know every character he played was sort of the same.
Yeah, but he had a good stage presence.
Because it was funny, it was all right.
Yeah. Very powerful ending, I thought, as well.
Yeah.
You know, it really built to a crescendo, and you know, using kind of a soundscape and then not a soundscape, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was just this kind of quite disturbing white noise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you know, good representation of you know, maybe how deaf people might perceive the world around them.
Yeah. It was very clever, I thought, and I just think that the way that it wasn't like, oh, let's shove in some people with some disabilities because we feel like we have to. It was like the whole play was written around it, and it was done so cleverly.
Yeah.
I just thought it was it was really, really well done.
Good use of multimedia.
Yeah, they had some projections.
Yeah.
They had some news articles, some other bits and bobs. Yeah, it was good.
Now, I couldn't work out at the start why they were going on about saying January is a really hot month and there was a heat wave in January, and then it kind of made sense at the end without any spoilers. You know, there was a tragedy at the end, wasn't there? And I thought this tragedy was because someone was hanged, but that wasn't the case. It's because they overheated.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody overheated, and because I couldn't quite work out why everyone had hanged themselves, but maybe that could have been a little bit clearer.
Yeah, that wasn't incredibly clear.
Yeah, I got that in the second viewing.
Okay, I did not get that.
Lighting and special effects.
Yeah, I mean, what they had worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing special, was it, for special effects?
No, not really. The sound was good at the end.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
What was your standout moment?
There was a scene where the main deaf lady broke down.
Yeah.
Which was very powerful, I thought.
I really liked the scene where our protagonist went back to see the lawyer and he wasn't there, and the woman was chopping apples. She was making something for dinner. Yeah. And they had a whole conversation about why she didn't have an implant and why did she, you know, prevent her son getting an implant when he was a baby, and just about the misunderstandings and the kind of and she was not British born.
Yeah.
And the woman was trying to make the point, like, you're in the minority like I am, and she wouldn't have any of it.
Yeah.
I thought that was very powerful.
Yeah.
Great. All right, well, shall we take a break and then we'll come back and score it?
Let's do it.
Audience antics. Okay, well, I was a little bit disgruntled before we went in to watch the performance.
Why were you disgruntled?
Well, we went for... we got a little drink at the theatre bar.
Yeah.
Which we don't always do we?
No, we quite often don't.
No, we quite often don't.
But it's just maybe because it was so small and we had nowhere else to wait.
Yeah, and there were no snacks.
There were no snacks,
which is a very odd thing.
I had to go to find a shop to get you some snacks.
No, I didn't send you out to a shop to get snacks. You were on your way and I said bring some snacks. But yeah, that was a little bit disheartening. And when we went, it wasn't very full, was it, at all?
No, it wasn't.
Well, when I went the second time, it was a full house.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so that was really good news. All right, should we score it then?
Yeah.
Okay, so performances.
Okay, so there were a couple that I felt weren't so strong. I'm going to go for an 8.
Yeah, I've given it an 8. Staging and technical, I thought it was okay, worked. I'll give it an 8 as well.
I'd go for a 7.
Okay. Narrative and plot.
I'd go for an 8.
I've also given it an 8. Originality, I'm going to give it a 9. I thought they coped with the, with the themes and issues brilliantly.
I'd give it a 10 because I've never seen disability handled in such a good way.
Lovely. Costume.
Poor. 7.
I've given it an 8. It was fine. It worked.
Yeah.
And was it worth it? It gets a fat 9 from me.
I'm going to go for an 8.
An 8. Great.
It was very good.
Well, it's high scoring.
Yeah.
So while I add up these scores, would you like to tell the listener what we're going to see next?
Well, what we're going to see next is not a piece of theatre. I'm not really sure what it's going to be. We're going to see Sandy Toksvig doing a one-lady show.
Make it sound rude.
One lady. I'm a big fan of Sandy Toksvig. I think she's great. I look forward to seeing what comes out of her mouth.
I hope it'll be good stuff.
I just look forward to seeing how tall she is in real life.
Okay, well, you'll be pleased to know that I'm nearly at the scoring stage.
Excellent work.
And...
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, nearly there. Give it a break. It's complicated, my maths.
Yeah.
Okay, it gets a star rating of 4.1, and it places it at the top of our leaderboard.
Oh, because we started again,
We
haven't we?
have. So we've got a new leader, which is great. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Well, it was really good, and it's a shame I didn't have a bit of a longer run, and it's a shame that the Bunker Theatre's closing down as well.
Yeah,
It's a great venue.
Yeah, I've been to see a few things there, and I really enjoyed every one. So that is a shame.
We need small theatres like this for people to be able to develop work.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I thought it was a perfect venue. Yeah,
Yeah,
what
really
a
good.
shame. All right then, but listen, you get yourself better for our next chat we
Thanks
meet.
very much. I feel like I might be quite similar.
Might be quite the same. Anyway, a bit like Vicky, her curtain's down, her theatre is dark, and that was 15-minute theatre. Good night.
Good night.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.